lonely soul, I know it's a hard road. Lovely one, you are my dream. Oh, lonely soul, I know it's a hard road. Got an open invitation to.
My name is Charles Brock. I've been at the Stardust for 25.5 years, and I work in the poker room. It's basically the only thing I've ever done in my life is deal poker. Oh, Vegas was like a small town with big city advantages. That's what Vegas was like in those days. Everybody knew everybody. You couldn't hardly get broke in this town. And you win 5,000 on the crap table, and I'm coming across the street, and you look at me, and you say, you look like you're broke. Here's a couple of thousand. Pay me when you make a hit. That's the way Vegas was, except for the mob. The mob let nobody bother nobody. There were none of these gangs, none of that stuff would have happened with the mob still here. It would not happen. I was with several people trying to organize a union for dealers in this town in 1972, I believe was the year. And I was trying to help get dealers more benefits, which at that time you were getting nothing but your pay and your tips and stuff like that. And then, like I said, one afternoon, 7 o'clock in the evening, they knocked on my door. About the only conversation was, you like your job? Yes. You have a family? Yes. That was about the extent of the conversation. I know they didn't need to go any further. I knew what they were saying. Either that or you play hardball. One of two things can happen in those days. You could wind up in the desert, or you just leave everything alone.
Cocktail. Cocktail. My name is Isabel Barry Forbes, and I've worked at the Stardust since 1968. I work in the beverage department in cocktails in a 21 pit. Oh my, in those days, you couldn't come in here, ladies and gentlemen couldn't come in sneakers and couldn't come in shorts, and everybody was dressed, and it was just like actually us going out on Fridays and Saturday nights coming to work because everybody was so dressed. It was elegant. It was like a big family. You know, it was like a family that it wasn't that they knew your children's names. They knew your family. They knew everybody about everything about you. And it was like, that's just where it was. I remember my daughter, who had lost her hearing through roseola, and the boss said, there's a gentleman that comes here and he's part owner of the Cleveland Clinic. You're going to take a red eye and take your child there and have the baby checked. But the doctors here told me she'd be deaf in 2 years, and she was now 6. And it was a very large amount of money to pay for $50,000 when you could buy a house for $25,000. And so I went to Cleveland, and who was it? It was a doctor from Vegas. And he was the one giving the seminars and everything. Came back, they set it up. My daughter had her surgery. She's now 40 years old. Never remembers having an earache. And I was off for the month. My paycheck went to the bank, and everything was paid for. And they were just, I mean, that's just the way they were. You know?
My name is Chuck Mino. I've been in town for about 44 years, and it's 44 years here in the barbershop also. How long have we known each other now, Rudy?
It's been 30 years.
Wow. And you still haven't learned that the haircuts aren't that great. His chair was Frank Rosenthal's chair up in his office upstairs, and he had his barber come down here to cut his hair and comb his hair every day of the week. So I tell my customers, this chair belonged to Frank Rosenthal at one time. And Bill Boyd, he sent it down to me. So here we do, and I cut Bill's hair on this every week and shave him every week and gets the manicure every week on this chair that belonged to Frank Rosenthal. It had a history.